Welcome, everyone. I'm one of these persons that got this virus called blockchain and that doesn't manage to get out of it. So I hope you also enjoy with passion the panel that we have now, although we have to short it to half of the time. So I'll also make the presentations very short. We're going to talk about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and the challenges, but also the opportunities that this technology opens, and also the link to gender. And for this, we have tonight Mairi Heinsalu, Estonian prosecutor, has very hands-on experience with cryptocurrencies and is going to share this experience. Chamorro, university professor, very experienced and deep research on the same subject, cryptocurrencies, ICOs and STOs. And Montse Guardia, General Director of Alastria. Alastria is a blockchain and a blockchain ecosystem that was built in Spain, but has a global vocation and has very hands-on also experiences on use cases with social impact and from the perspective of ethics. So I think we're going to start with Concha, who's going to share with us knowledge on investment through blockchain technology.
My presentation, thank you. Amazing Congress, and thank you for inviting me to participate and to be in here. I will offer some thoughts, a brief introduction about initial coin offerings, ICOs, as a class of a startup financing. And at the end, I will offer a perspective of gender equality in this field. As you know, there are different kinds of financing for startups. We have to take into consideration the big category of crypto assets. Crypto assets are a type of private asset that depends primarily on cryptography and distributed ledger technology. There are a wide variety of crypto assets. We could distinguish three big groups: cryptocurrency, crypto commodities, and crypto tokens. Crypto tokens include asset tokens, which are issued through ICOs. An ICO is a kind of fundraising the startups could use. That is a possibility that allow businesses to raise capital for their projects by issuing digital tokens in exchange for fiat currencies or other cryptocurrencies, for example, Bitcoin or Ether. ICOs are typically promoted on the social media and on the web to potential investors using so-called white papers. So white papers is a kind of prospectus, but in a very simple way. At present, there is no regulation about this field. It had been different regulatory approaches, and it is said that a token is like a contract granting certain rights for the investors. The features and purposes vary about the ICOs, and they could include a voucher for a one-time or recurring service, or a right to participate in a share, but sometimes tokens may have no value or grant no right at all, and this is very important to have in clear. Everyone who has access to internet can participate. It is necessary to open a so-called wallet, and it is made immediately. So the investor sends the cryptocurrency to the token seller, and the underlying smart contract technology sends the purchased tokens to the investor's wallet address immediately. And after that, the tokens can be traded, can be exchanged for fiat or currencies or cryptocurrencies. As I said, ICOs are not regulated, but some authorities, like ESMA, said that it could be possible to qualify these instruments as financial instruments. This would mean that we could apply a lot of EU directives. In particular, it is important to underline that it could be possible to apply the AML requirements. The fourth anti-money laundering directive applies to a wide range of institutions, of entities and persons. And in the statement of ESMA, of the European Securities Markets Authority, it is said that even in the case that the tokens are not considered financial instruments, we could apply this directive. I have to short my presentation, but I think it's important that we have a look to the gender gap in this sector. After having explained these short ideas about ICOs, I would like to finish with a reference to gender equality in this sector. And when it comes to gender equality, I have to say that the blockchain industry still has a long way to go. To assess the gender balance in blockchain startups, Longhash took a look at the most recent 100 blockchain startups listed as upcoming by ICO tracking, and the results were very disappointed. As you see, women were only just 13.5% of blockchain start team members. In leadership roles, the numbers got worse, just 7%, also 7% in the startup executives, and for the advisors, just near 8%. Why? As Professor Ripon said this morning, it's not because of our brains. We had this fantastic explanation this morning. And Katharina Schuler, said that we have a lot of disadvantages. No? I think it is real that in some countries, women are less likely to have access to internet, less likely to be digitally skilled, and more likely to get left behind in the digital disruption. These facts are also in relation with education and employment. There is a IT professionals gender gap, as we have seen today, and solutions. We have to implement complementary policies. I think, as Maria Teresa de la Vega said, it is important to stay in the ideas world, but it is also important to impulse women and girls in the STEMs. It is important to make possible that they stay in the labor market, in the entrepreneurship, and this is an urgent problem. No? I think policymakers have to act promptly and to intervene and redress this situation. As conclusion, very short, ICOs could provide really useful alternative funding for blockchain startups, but the legal framework for ICOs at the moment remains unclear. I think it's very important to obtain this harmonization. This week, last week, the European Central Bank and other central banks have said that they want to explore the opportunities and the challenges of issuing central bank digital currencies. Also, the Association for Financial Markets in Europe published a paper in November and has made recommendations for delivering supervisory convergence on the regulation of crypto assets in Europe. So we have to, I think we have to face this challenge and make a safer framework for investors and use the possibilities of cryptocurrencies in this field. Thank you very much for your attention. I am okay with the time.
You're perfect.
Okay.
I'm so happy. Thank you very, very much for making this possible. It was very, very tough.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mairi Heinsalu, and I'm a district prosecutor from Northern District Prosecutor's Office of Estonia. I was asked by Katariina Miller to talk about cryptocurrency here today, but as we have really limited time for the presentations, I will focus only the problems or challenges what I, as a prosecutor, faced during the investigations. As you see from the slide, I'm specialized from 2015 only on cybercrimes, but I have been working as a prosecutor more than 13 years by now. So more and more we face during our investigations that criminals hide or they put their money deposit the criminal income in cryptocurrency. And there are two reasons why they are doing this. First, when we are talking about cybercriminals, they use cryptocurrency mostly to commit crimes, because everything they want to buy, everything they want to sell in the dark web or in the internet, they use for that cryptocurrency. And the second reason why they do it is money laundering, because as banks are scrutinizing their clients more and more, the dirty money trying to find new places to clean it. So cryptocurrency is definitely the most secure place for that. Of course, nobody, cybercriminals mostly, and I think also a lot of other criminals, they don't keep criminal income anymore in the bank accounts, but they use it. They use cryptocurrency platforms for that. So what we do in our investigations in serious crimes, we always try to find out if the person has earned criminal income. Also we try to find out if the person has wallets in some kind of cryptocurrency platforms. There are also some issues, because some of the cryptocurrency platforms are cooperating with the law enforcement agencies, but some of them are not doing that kind of cooperation. I know that some of cryptocurrency platforms have written also in their condition and terms that if person wants to open an account on their platforms, they have to realize that this company is doing cooperation with the law enforcement agencies. So if prosecution office or police is making inquiry to the cryptocurrency platform, they give everything, all the data about account, the transactions, the owner of the account, everything we need. But some of them, they don't. I can give you a very good example from my own practice. Before I get to that, I will say that cryptocurrency confiscation is actually the most major problem we face, because it's really hard to get the cryptocurrency out of the wallet without knowing person's private key. With a really, really good luck, we sometimes have a chance to get that during other procedural steps, but usually this is impossible. Also, they say that to seize or confiscate cryptocurrency, it's impossible. Yes, this is true, but there are some points. As I said, we might be lucky to find that private key we can use, but the second is that person might to make cooperation with the police. So this is the case where our cybercriminal was ready to cooperate, and he had account in the platform called BTCE, and he had their US dollars, a little bit Bitcoins, and euros, all about 32,000 euros, something like that. So the problem was that this platform was established in Russia. On the website, we didn't see any management to contact with, and the jurisdiction of law, it kind of was related with Cyprus. So we understood that there wasn't any point to make any inquiry to the company, because we even didn't know where to send the inquiry. So as this person was ready to give voluntarily his criminal income to the state, we tried to withdraw the money out of his wallet. And we already thought that we accomplished, because the balance in one moment was 0 and 0, if we are talking about US dollars and euros. But in the next morning, the money was back. Mm. So, and we tried it, I think 10 times. And there was some kind of email address where our person contacted. He said that, I want to withdraw money, I want to transfer the money to the Minister of Finance of Estonian Republic. And, you know, the most funniest thing was that the company said that, okay, but we need the balance of last 6 months of the account and the personal ID. But we are talking about Minister of Finance of Estonian Republic. We can't give the balance of last 6 months. So, and what we did, the only way, was that we created our own account at the same platform. So we transferred from his wallet to our wallet, which was under the control of the police. And we were really happy that we had that money, because it was in 2016, in the end of 2016. So basically, in Estonia, nobody hadn't seized or confiscated monetary funds from cryptocurrency platform wallet before. But about a year later, in the summer of 2017, FBI and United Secret Service arrested the guy who owned this platform because they found that this platform was created for money laundering. And this is what their website seems now. And as we had also the wallet inside this platform, we lost our money. So this is real, this is real problem. And I contacted with my colleagues in FBI. I said, we want our money back. Yeah, but we didn't get it. So this is actually really good problem, big problem. So even if the person wants to give the money away, we can't always do that. So that's all. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you very much.
This was really long.
So good afternoon. I will not take a lot of time, but I will try to take a lot of interest. So that's challenging always. So after that, what else, no? So I want to just highlight, no, I'm not a lawyer. What it could be obviously when I speak, but I'm an engineer. So I'm an engineer, and I'm very happy to be an engineer of telecom. And on top of that, also, I can say that I'm a businesswoman, so I'm managing what we call an association. No? What is an association and why we talk and why we want to talk about ecosystems? So that's the new challenge for us, is that we have been starting talking about blockchain, and we have started talking about crypto assets, cryptocurrencies, cybercrime on crypto specialists on procurement on cybercrime on crypto. So if we think about all that, it seems very complex, but it's not so much complex, but so much large amount of opportunities. So right now, what we are having, and we are here because there is a huge change in our life. And this is the good news. So the good news is that we have been moved to something that is the real digital age. We are in the age of transition. So right now we have been living in a world that is physical, and we know for sure who is the policeman, and we know for sure who is the lawyer, and we know for sure who is the engineer, and we know for sure where is our home, or where is several homes. But when we move to the digital age, we also have a digital home. And what is our digital home nowadays, and how we are accessing to our digital home. Okay, the bad news is that, I'm sorry, but your identity in this digital home of the current centralized IT systems is fragmented. You don't have a single home, you don't have a single place where is all your data, all the data that you have been generated in your life is not in one single place. It's all around the net. And where is the net? Okay, that's also a very good question. Some of us will look at the cloud. No, I'm so sorry, but there is no cloud. There is physical servers, very tangible ones, that all around several countries. And that's the big challenge. Nowadays, we don't know exactly what are our personal data and in which country is this data and for what use is being done. We know few things, and we have prosecutors and we have cybercrime too. So in this age that is quite incomplete, because we are still in the middle of the transition of the real digital age, what we can do as a women? Where is the opportunity? We have a huge opportunity that is called decentralized network. That is called next step. Let's understand what that means, the blockchain technology. Let's understand what that means, AI. Let's understand what that means, Internet of Things. Let's understand what that means, big data. And we don't need to be an IT telecom engineer or an IT software engineer. We just need to understand that every step we are doing right now in the digital world can be traced, yes, but if we start to change the architecture, and this is all about blockchain, changing the digital architecture of sending data, because yes, somebody has been using for the financial market. But it's not just that. It's more than that. We have been starting to do crypto, and this is the goal. When we talk about blockchain, we need to talk a little bit one step before, that is called cryptography. And what does means cryptography? Cryptography means that I'm going to start to send data in this new technology that is a decentralized network that will be already encrypted. And how we will encrypt that, how we will do cryptography of this data. Okay, the good news is the first thing, you don't send your data. Your data is your data. What you are sending is an image, is a hash, is a something that looks like your data, but has a key and has something you can have the control about it. So the first thing, you have a first key to have control and power of decision about this data that we don't send, we keep it for ourselves. But we have to start to think about why I'm going to use this image of a real data, what is going to be my token, what is going to be a token, and for what use. And that is not talking about IT. That is talking about business needs, social needs, and also personal needs. Why I'm going to communicate to someone, for what purpose? Why I need to communicate, for what purpose, and who is managing this communication. This is about designing blockchain applications, decentralized applications. It's a big change because you are empowering the user and you are empowering the user with whom are going to be exchanging this information. You are not talking anymore about data, you are talking about a data that is related to a context, that is related to a use. We are transforming data in information and in knowledge. If I say I'm going to send you 25, okay, this is data. If I'm going to tell you I'm going to send you 25 Bitcoins, this is more information. If I tell you that nowadays the Bitcoin is $3, it's not true, it's going to give you knowledge. So this is all about that. The same for cryptocurrencies, is the same for anything that I can tokenize. And how I create a token? Okay, you need math. You need to identify a physical single thing and see how you can translate this physical single thing to a number that will be unique with a unique relation. And this is create a token. And we can have different types of tokens. We can have different regulation for tokens. What is important is that we are at the beginning of the beginnings. So here is a huge opportunity. If we can start to understand how we create tokens, why you need tokens, and to do what type of business, and where I'm going to put these tokens, in which network, in which decentralized network, I'm going to start to create decentralized applications where myself, only myself, my identity, my digital identity, will be the one that will start this new application. So we have a huge change on the digital world. And in this huge change, ladies, we need to be there. This is the opportunity to change the current situation. Let's be diverse. Alastria is the organization I'm managing. It's an association of 520 right now partners. They are public administration, industries, all type of industries, large, medium, and small, startups, plus academia, technological parts, scientific parts. In all that, we put a mass. We must be diverse. And this is the condition to be in the association. And this is the condition to create decentralized application on top of the net. And this is the condition to be and to teach and to have a lot of information that can be understood by several points of view. If we are not diverse, we are not going to create a most fair and sustainable world in the digital and in the physical world. So let's go for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As you see, we had different perspectives for blockchain. I think what is clear is that blockchain is a technology that is very transversal, transsectoral. So it affects really from health to cryptocurrencies and investment and enterprise investment, but also social impact, but also supply chain, but also telecoms. So throughout the different sectors, and it promises to bring a different concept of trust and trust building. So without third parties that intervene, affecting privacy, creating, as you said, the opportunity for a better self-management of our privacy. And with that also more the peer-to-peer economy and the sharing economy. So it opens up a bunch of possibilities for third sector or for development countries, and that's the reason why also United Nations, the World Bank, the Inter-American Bank of Development Bank is very focused on this technology, and also the European Union with a whole strategy through Horizon 2020, and very focused on regulation. We had last week a European major congress in Malaga. Started together with Alastria by the European Commission, focusing on policy and regulation. And this is where it links with you. So all the challenges that we faced in terms of criminality, in terms of also bad uses, but also uncertainty, need to be faced. And that's where we come in, lawyers, to bring knowledge, territoriality, liability, responsibility, privacy, the many elements that are key to make this technology be able to be used for a good purpose in an ethical context and for social impact. And I think here, to link it with the women, we have many women in this room and all around. I think the lawyers are many women in the law sphere. So I invite you to come to the Blockchain Law Institute of Blockchain Intelligence, which is a collaborative effort to help solve these legal issues in the blockchain sphere, and with it have more women in this technological blockchain world. So thank you very much. I thank also Katamila and the organization for this wonderful Congress, and my wonderful panel for making the effort to be fast.
Thank you. Thank you.